Should you use a swamp cooler to cool your house, or should you use a standard air conditioning system? Well, to answer that question, we need to know a little bit about how swamp coolers work. First of all, swamp coolers are also referred to as evaporative coolers. And that means that they take moisture and they blow a fan across wet media, and they introduce moisture to your home or your space. And then when that moisture evaporates, it's a heat releasing process, thus lowering the temperature of the space. Now, if you live in a wet climate like we do in Southern California or coastal Southern California, you don't get a lot of evaporation. And to illustrate that, it's wet on the ground right here. Yes, it is a little cooler, it is a little foggier of a morning, but we get marine layer like this all through the summer. Even in some of the hottest summer months, it's extremely humid in coastal California. So evaporative coolers, just introducing more humidity into the space, is not going to allow it to evaporate fast enough, and what you'll be left with is this clammy, swampy feeling that's not actually lowering the temperature the way that you would desire. Instead, you would then want to use traditional air conditioning methods to cool your house effectively. When is a swamp cooler helpful? In desert climates where it's extremely dry. Arizona, Palm Springs, New Mexico, think very dry, hot climates. We can introduce moisture to the space that evaporates so quickly that it'll cool the house really effectively. Depending on what situation you find yourself in, you might choose differently between a swamp cooler and an air conditioner. Swamp coolers are very inexpensive, and they're very inexpensive to run. But if you find yourself in a wetter environment, you're probably going to want that AC system.